Holiday weekend off and running with absolutely gorgeous weather across central and eastern Kentucky. The hour-by-hour weekend forecast is coming up.
Police are investigating a murder in Boyle County, and now there is a search for the victim's stepdaughter. And charges against two parents charged with assault will likely be upgraded to murder after their infant dies in the hospital.
This is WKYT News at 4.
Welcome to WKYT News at 4. I'm Amber Philpott. The Labor Day weekend is here and the weather could not be any better. Take a look. Here is a live picture now of downtown Lexington. We are going to see plenty of sunny skies as temperatures hang on the pleasant side of the thermometer for us. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Happy holiday weekend. Even if it is the unofficial end to summer, it's going out on a very nice note out there. A lot of thermometers, most thermometers into the upper 70s at 77 Danville, Somerset, Jackson, Mount Sterling checking in at 79 degrees. Get into the open country and you are indeed dealing with a lot of mid-70s. Winds are gusting up as well. Why am I showing you the sky cam? See the clouds in the distance? That's the outer edge of our tropical system that is now into parts of the Carolinas. So a little cloud cover is getting in to southeastern Kentucky. That's not producing precipitation, but it is cool to see the outer cloud band of what once was a hurricane that came ashore late last evening into early this morning into parts of Florida. Defender Radar Network, nothing across the Bluegrass State. Here is Hermine, and it is across the Charleston, South Carolina area now, and eventually will move across North Carolina back out into the ocean. That will impact parts of the mid-Atlantic states and maybe even New England in the days to come. But that is largely leaving the Bluegrass State high and dry outside of a little bit of cool cloud cover cruising into the eastern part of the state. We'll come back in just a few minutes and take you into the all-important Saturday, Sunday, Labor Day time frame with the hour-by-hour forecast, Amber.
We want to know all about it, Chris. Thank you. A murder investigation leads to a search for a missing teen. Police say they want to find the stepdaughter of a murdered Boyle County woman. 52-year-old Rhonda Oakley was found dead inside her home on Old Houstonville Road yesterday. Now the woman's 15-year-old stepdaughter is missing. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more. It is our top story at 4.
Police believe the murder happened sometime yesterday afternoon, but the victim's stepdaughter has not been seen since, and today she did not show up to school at Boyle County High School. The 52-year-old woman was found dead inside the home Thursday by her stepson. I'm told that Oakley was a longtime employee of Donley in Danville, was well known and liked by many. Today, police said that the 15-year-old stepdaughter, Jenna Oakley, was to be considered a missing person.
Her 15-year-old stepdaughter didn't show up at school this morning, and obviously that causes us some concern. We are conducting a missing persons case as well. She has been entered as missing, and we're just asking for the public's help in trying to find her.
Now, police believe that Jenna Oakley may be in her mother's vehicle. That is a white Honda Accord with the license plate number of 4113BT. It also has a Kentucky Breast Cancer Awareness license plate. In Boyle County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Police say Jenna Oakley is 5'4", weighs 115 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes with black framed glasses. Police say a baby who was allegedly abused by its parents has died. Police in Laurel County say the 7-week-old baby suffered a severe head injury earlier this week and was transported to Kentucky Children's Hospital, where she died this morning. Gary and Jessica Nicely are both charged with assault and wanton endangerment, but more serious charges are expected to be filed. We'll have an update on WKYT News at 4:30. After being on the run for more than a week, a Bath County man accused of killing his wife is expected back in Kentucky today. According to Kentucky State Police, troopers are transferring Christopher White from a jail in Princeton, Indiana, to the Montgomery County Regional Jail this afternoon. Police in Gibson County, Indiana, say they arrested Christopher White yesterday morning after he turned himself into police. The sheriff there says White called them saying he thought he was wanted in Kentucky. Investigators say White shot his wife Judy last week, but they're still not sure of a motive. We're working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Our Sam Dick joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Amber. A man suffering from dementia has fallen victim to a con artist who happens to be his caregiver. The suspect reportedly stole checks worth more than $28,000. Dorsey Pratt of Georgetown was arrested in Lexington. He's charged with exploitation of an adult as well as theft by deception. Police say Pratt convinced the elderly man he cared for into signing 37 checks to him over a 5 to 6 month period. The value of those checks, $28,877. Police say Pratt cashed all the checks and kept the money. The elderly man who has dementia told police he had no idea why he was signing over the checks. We'll have an update on the investigation on WKYT News at 5. A nun murdered in Mississippi almost 2 weeks ago was laid to rest today in Kentucky. Sister Paula Merrill was a member of the Sisters of Charity of Nazareth and had been working in a health clinic in Mississippi. Hundreds of people were at the funeral, remembering the woman who spent her life helping people. Police in Mississippi have arrested Rodney Earl Sanders for her death. He's charged with 2 counts of capital murder. We'll have more on how Sister Merrill is being remembered on WKYT News at 4:30. And the official groundbreaking for the new Bluegrass stockyards taking place this afternoon. A massive fire destroyed the old stockyards on Lyle Industrial Avenue back in January. The new facility will be located off Ironworks Pike at the Fayette-Scott County line. Lexington Mayor Jim Gray, Congressman Andy Barr, and Bluegrass Stockyards representatives were on hand for today's groundbreaking ceremony. Construction on the new stockyards is expected to be complete by next July. We'll take you to the ceremony with more on that on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. That's a look at some news in progress on this Friday. Amber, back to you.
Sam, thank you. Now to some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. An ex-Stanford University swimmer who sparked a national outcry when he was sentenced to only 6 months for sexually assaulting an unconscious woman is out of jail. As Danielle Nottingham reports, Brock Turner served only half of that time.
21-year-old Brock Turner walked out of Santa Clara County Jail Friday. He was released on good behavior after serving just 3 months behind bars. That's only half of a 6-month sentence already under fire as too lenient. The ex-Stanford University swimmer was convicted of sexual assault against an unconscious woman outside a fraternity party in January 2015. Fire Judge Persky! The case exploded nationally amid criticism of Judge Aaron Persky's sentencing in the case, as a poignant statement from the victim swept through social media. Efforts to recall Judge Persky continue. He removed himself from hearing criminal cases starting next week. Turner faces 3 years of supervised probation and must register as a sex offender for life. He's said to be heading to Dayton, Ohio to live with his parents. His lawyers indicate he will appeal his conviction. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Just this week, the California Assembly voted 66-0 to toughen mandatory prison sentences for the same crime. Governor Jerry Brown has not said whether he will sign it. A child welfare agency has started an investigation into former New York Democratic Congressman Anthony Weiner following his latest sexting scandal. Weiner confirmed to the New York Times that he has received a letter from Children's Services about the investigation. Sunday, the New York Post published photos Weiner sent to a woman he had never met. One of the photos showed him in his underpants lying on a bed with his 4-year-old son. Weiner is now separated from his wife, Huma Abedin, a top aide to Hillary Clinton. If you own the new Samsung Galaxy Note 7 smartphone, we have a warning to tell you about. That's next in WKYT Money Watch.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Welcome back in. Samsung Electronics is recalling millions of its new high-end Galaxy smartphones. Marley Hall has the details and what it could mean for the global technology market.
What just happened to my Note 7?
A YouTube video posted by Ariel Gonzalez claims this new Samsung Galaxy Note 7 caught on fire after charging, melting part of the phone.
Brand new phone.
At a press conference Friday, Samsung announced it's recalling 2.5 million devices. The company has confirmed dozens of cases where the phones caught fire and blames the problem on a faulty battery made by one of its suppliers. Samsung says it has to recall all the phones because there's no way to figure out which ones may have a defective battery.
I can't even imagine how expensive and how time-consuming and how much effort is going to have to go into replacing all of these phones.
CNET's Dan Ackerman says the Galaxy Note 7 was getting good reviews with features like an iris scanner that lets your eyes unlock the phone. The water-resistant devices were also experiencing strong sales. The recall comes just days before Apple is expected to announce the new iPhone 7.
This is the worst possible timing for Samsung. They finally had a real hit on their hands, and it looked like they were really going to outmatch Apple, and look what happened.
Samsung says its replacement phones will be available in about 2 weeks. Marley Hall, CBS News, New York.
Headphones maker Jabra has announced the company's first pair of truly wireless earbuds. They're called the Jabra Elite Sport, and they can even monitor your heart rate. They go on sale next month with a price tag of $249. Smith & Wesson reported its first quarter sales surged 40% compared to the same quarter a year ago. The gun maker's CEO is crediting strong consumer demand for the surge. The company reports sales of handguns rose 42% and long guns, including shotguns and rifles, spiked a whopping 119%. Automakers reporting a drop in new car and truck sales last month. Volkswagen sales fell 9%, while Ford was down 8%. GM, Toyota, Honda, and Nissan also had losses. Industry analysts expect declines after 6 straight years of growth. And more Americans are hitting the road for this Labor Day weekend. A TripAdvisor survey says holiday travel is up 10% from last year. A majority of those will be driving, but plane travel is also up 6%. And where are Americans headed? Well, the top destinations include beach trips, city getaways, lake escapes, and to the national parks. Some of country music's hottest stars are preparing to hit the stage right here in Lexington this weekend. Our very own Deanne Stevens is coming up live with a preview.
Boy, they hit the jackpot this weekend in terms of the weather, and you know what? We all did. I've got a great-looking holiday weekend forecast up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Absolutely gorgeous day out there across Kentucky. My, oh my, we had to pay a summer's worth of heat, humidity, and rain to get to a gorgeous Labor Day weekend. I guess it's time to collect on Mother Nature. Look at that sky out of southeastern Kentucky from Jackson, and we are noticing a lot of clouds, blue, white. That's the theme of the weekend, huh? But that's what we're dealing with. And you know what? Those clouds are actually from our tropical system, from Hermine. The outer edges of the clouds showing up on the live sky cam in Lexington, not over top of Lexington, but we're looking toward the east and the southeast, and indeed picking up on those clouds. So that's the blue and the white again. Temperatures mainly upper 70s in most areas. Get away from the silly airport thermometers, and everybody's into the mid and upper 70s across most of the area. If you're out this evening, high school football fans, we were sweating it last week, the week before, and not so much tonight. It's plenty of sunshine at kickoff, low and mid 70s, nice second half. We'll drop it quickly as the sun sets with dry air into the 60s. So maybe on the kiddos out there, a long sleeve tee for the second half. Defender Radar Network, nothing locally. There you see those clouds into southeastern Kentucky. Here's what's left of what was Hurricane Hermine, still a powerful tropical storm that is just pasting parts of the Carolinas right now. That's going to emerge back into the Atlantic, and I think that's going to fire back up just off the Jersey coastline, maybe loop around a little bit and kind of tease the New York City and New England area for the next 3 or 4 days. That's one folks up there are really going to have to keep a close eye on. Tomorrow, did you like today? I think we'll do it again. Mid to upper 50s in the morning, upper 70s, low 80s tomorrow afternoon. Let's break down the holiday weekend. Great weather continues, sunny, pleasant. Sunday will add a degree or 2 on top of your back porch thermometer. We'll keep the sunshiny skies. How about Labor Day itself? Still looks good, but it will be a little warmer, especially into the peak heating of the afternoon. We could hit 84, 85, 86 degrees, depending on exactly where you are. But that 3-day threat track has nothing going on across central and eastern Kentucky. More in the way of sunshine and warm conditions. Heading out to Commonwealth Stadium tomorrow night, tailgating into the afternoon. And the early evening, generally low 80s, plenty of sunshine. Sunscreen, though, don't let, now that we're into September, fool you. Sun's still awfully high in the sky. 74 around kickoff. Could not ask for better weather to get out to Commonwealth Stadium and cheer on the Cats. Drive home forecast, temperatures by then will be generally low and mid 60s. That's a good looking college football forecast, and we go through the next few days, we'll see temperatures that will gradually warm back into the upper 80s. Let's check in with Officer Don to see how the traffic is.
Well, our focus so far this afternoon is on Whitaker Bank Ballpark and inbound North Broadway. Right now is the time to get there. It's not too crazy. A backup just before the circle and toward the ballpark, but it's about 7 to 8 minutes to get through. And both the inner and outer loops seem to be moving okay, all things considered this afternoon. But no wrecks in the way. Drive time to Nicholasville about 12 minutes, to Georgetown 15, and to Paris about 22. Now back to you in the studio.
Officer Don, thank you. It is the place to be this weekend. Food, fun, and incredible music with Red, White, and Boom 2016. Our Deanne Stevens is out and about today with more from Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Hi, Deanne.
This is definitely the place to be, Amber. We are here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. We've been talking about this show for months now. Red, White, and Boom 2016. We got people pouring in. The gates just opened at 4 o'clock. First artist doesn't even take the stage till 5:30. And gentlemen, did you not love seeing those people pile in here?
This is amazing. Into the parking lot, to the gates, running in. That's always my favorite part.
Few people are getting early on that tailgating out there until they get in here for the acts to start. Andy Shea, Jay Cruz with us. Andy, Lexington Legends. Jay with 98.1 The Bull. And we have been talking about this show forever, Jay. The lineup tonight is unreal.
I cannot wait to see Eric Church take the stage, and Whitaker Bank Ballpark is going to be packed. I mean, just the energy in this place is going to be insane.
The artists have been doing sound checks. We heard Maren Morris just a little bit ago, and we had the opportunity to talk to her on the radio. 5 CMA nominations this week. I mean, what a place to play tonight and celebrate that.
She is going to tear it up, and we saw her do her sound check a while ago, and her sound check was running just a little bit long, and people were running in thinking that she was already on stage. It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
They don't want to miss out on anything, and the good news is you're not going to miss out because you still have the opportunity to come. Tickets still available for tonight. You encourage folks just to come on out.
Oh yeah, definitely. Whether it's at the ticket office, really recommend online and print it out at home, LexingtonLegends.com, super easy. And yeah, what a day. This is perfect.
Oh my goodness, the weather is picture perfect. Now check this out. I see these gentlemen here. You got your blanket out and ready for the night?
Ready for it.
Who are you here to see?
Eric Church and Casey Musgrave.
Eric and Casey. Now, Eric doesn't take the stage until 9:30 tonight. Casey Musgrave's right before that. Maren Morse is first up at 5:30, followed by Cam. So the lineup is unbelievable, and we want you to come be a part of the fun for Red, White, and Boom 2016. By the way, it doesn't end tonight. It goes on tomorrow night. We got Jason Aldean, Thomas Rhett, and a whole slew of artists. And then Sunday night, it's Florida Georgia Line and a whole lot more. Come on out here to Whitaker Bank Ballpark and see us. Show starts at 5:30. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Back to you guys.
All right, Deanne, we'll see you in just a bit. Coming up in Better Living, the foreign countries that could be most at risk for an outbreak of Zika. And a new device could help treat symptoms of sleep apnea. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $92 million, and tomorrow's Powerball jackpot, $170 million. It is time now for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. The Zika virus could be a threat to some of the world's most vulnerable regions. A new study finds that part of Africa and the Asia-Pacific region have mosquitoes capable of carrying Zika, which has been linked to severe birth defects. The study says India, China, the Philippines, and Indonesia may be among the countries at greatest risk of an outbreak. Babies that are born extremely premature may need to watch their blood sugar well into adulthood. A study in the journal Pediatrics tracked newborns with a birth weight less than 2.2 pounds. It found by the time they are in their 30s, that group is 4 times more likely to develop abnormal blood glucose. And an implanted nerve stimulator is bringing promising results for people with sleep apnea. The condition affects about 1/3 of patients with heart failure. It happens when the brain fails to control breathing during sleep. A new study suggests the new device works like a pacemaker and significantly improves apnea symptoms. Now let's head over to Chris for an absolutely gorgeous weekend.
Yeah, it doesn't get a whole lot better than this, does it? I mean, it's our Labor Day weekend, so we want at least decent weather, but Mother Nature going above and beyond the call of duty to give us some of the best weather we've had in months around here, at least for an extended period of time. We're getting pleasant temperatures, and we're also getting a chance to dry things up after a soggy summer across the Bluegrass State. An added bonus out there, cloud cover southeastern Kentucky. Those are clouds. That's the outer band of our tropical system Hermine down into right now South Carolina. So we are indeed getting some clouds showing up across especially southeastern Kentucky coming from what once was Hurricane Hermine. It's been downgraded. It's over land. It will cause some additional problems up and down the East Coast. We're not going to be worried about that impacting our weather in Kentucky outside of some of those high clouds that are showing up across the southeastern corner of the state. You see the blue skies that are out there. Get used to that. That will carry us through the next couple of days as we continue to hang on to the nice conditions. We'll break that down in greater detail and go in depth on where Hermine is heading. That's coming up next in WKYT News at 4:30, and it starts right now.